Hello and welcome to episode 2 of BrickTalk, where myself and Mayo talk absolute bricks. Hope you're all doing well today. And obviously, Mayo's here.
Hello, everybody. I'm really tired.
Yeah, you don't feel too good, do you?
No, I'm just tired.
Yeah. Yeah, I am as well. Because I had my first 11 hours of sleep last night. Well, this morning, in fact, because it was 5 o'clock this morning.
And I'm just waking up.
Yeah.
I need to drink water to feel better than what I am now.
Yeah. It's better than drinking caffeine, stuff like coffee and stuff. It's bad for you.
Well, I just need to get that H2O inside my body.
Yeah. Except from you being tired, how are you? You okay?
Yeah, I'm really good.
Good. Shy Had. Is he one of your viewers?
I don't think I've seen Shihab before, so welcome to the stream.
Yeah, welcome on. Hope you're doing well.
Anyway, so what are you building right now?
I'm working on a alien conquest space station.
Do you want to
Basically,
go into further detail?
yeah, so it's going to be like it's to do with the outpost that I built. I'll show you on camera so everyone can see. Because this is like the little shed, right? And that's going to go on the side, which is going to obviously be attached to the the space station thing. And it's basically going to be filled with computers and storage, and on the roof is going to be some antennas for some tile design. Which is obviously the first step of building my city, which I'm going to be. It's why I'm splitting it up into certain plates, because then I can, once I have enough pieces, build it on a couple of 48 by 48 base plates, which obviously I'm going to have to brick it and make it sturdy so it's not bendable, and then just place these on in the right order, if you get what I mean.
Shihab wants to try and build a Lego flag.
Yeah, and yep, I'm good, and I want to try and make a biggest Lego flag if my dad let me buy bricks. Oh, hopefully he does let you, Mum. It'd be great.
And we're just waiting for more people to roll on in. Hopefully people will start showing up soon.
Was pretty sure Never Too Old and stuff is coming soon. Because I watched his live stream. He was using his laser on some plates, engraving people's names.
Yeah, because it seems like that's the focus of his stuff right now.
Yeah, but what I'm not a big fan of is he used a marker to a black marker to kind of like color the tile in black, when he could have literally just used he couldn't have used a black tile because the laser would have been in black.
Yeah, I don't know what's going on there.
Yeah. So he covered one of his some multicolored fucking tiles in black marker and then engraved it so the writing was in the color of the tile.
Anyway, I'm just checking some stuff right now.
Yeah, no worries, man.
Yeah, so there's two things that we're gonna be talking about today. One is the alien conquest stuff that Owen is
Yeah.
building, and the other is the train stuff that I'll eventually start. I'll eventually start building.
Ooh, little Lego and JDP's turned up. Hello, you two. Hope you're doing well.
And because there's activity in chat, the Nightbot is now working.
Yeah, that's good. It's good to know. So every 3 messages, there's a 5-minute countdown for the Nightbot.
Yeah. I'm just waking up right now, JDP.
Yeah, and I'm just starting to work on my space station thing.
Yeah, so is there any what's the backstory of what you want to do with your space station?
I've been inspired from classic space because I couldn't find any mocks on Alien Conquest for my city. So if I inspire myself from a couple of the builds from classic space, I could maybe like combine it all. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Shihab, that's because you're watching my simulcast. The Nightbot is in Owen's chat for his simulcast. So if
What
you
does it
want
mean?
to,
Why can't he join your server?
so if you want to join his server, then you'll have to go into his chat.
Oh, little Lego's been here for a couple of minutes. His keyboard stopped working. It got unplugged apparently.
And they're also upgrading. Got a new graphics.
Yeah, new GPU.
Yeah. Anyway, so what are you trying to accomplish with this, Mark?
Could you kind of word that a little bit differently so I understand it better? What do you mean by like?
You're like, what is the goal of this, Mark?
Obviously to be a space station, but the goal is to be a part of the city.
And how is it going to be a part of the city?
Because it's going to be kind of like a control lab or station that's going to control something else.
Because when I build anything with space, I like to imagine that it's on another planet in a different solar system, because eventually I'm going to be building what I like to call the interplanetary space base.
Yeah. Which once I get enough pieces, I'm going to make a base with like a war base. So obviously the astronauts and the like mech minifigures that are in Alien Conquest, I will build a little outpost for them on the city. So it's going to be like a massive war scene. Or battle scene. Less than a war scene. Probably more of a battle scene.
Yeah, because you really like minifigures from Alien Conquest.
Yeah. 100%.
Well, I'm also like the minifigures from space themes from the late 80s and the early 90s.
Yeah, I got this moth-looking minifigure. Pretty sure it's a moth.
And I think that's from the Galaxy Squad.
Yeah, it is, yeah. Again, I've just ordered a shitload of space minifigures. All different ones, even the Black Troll Mutant. But he came without the accessories, so I'm going to have to make my own.
So I'm guessing they were cheaper without the accessories.
It was more of a mixture of space minifigures from eBay. So the guy was basically selling a space bundle with all the different minifigures and stuff. I even got this cool little alien.
Which goes over the top of the heads of the minifigs from Alien Conquest when they get captured.
Yeah, which I've stuck a 1x1 tube brick to make it look like a mouth. Because I'm going to build a little rocky environment for him using dark tan.
Hey Zelda, says Galaxy Squad is the best space theme ever. Well, that's not my opinion, but there's definitely a Galaxy Squad fandom out there. Because that was the last of the true space sub themes.
Yeah. Which I'm going to be building some steps going up to it.
Everything since then has been Star Wars and civilian space. Not the fantasy space that a lot of us really like.
2x6 black and then a 2x4 in grey.
Yeah, those green aliens do look like Slimer. Especially with the way you can position them in the midair, hanging by some small trans clear bricks.
Yeah, I've just ordered a shitload more minifigures. I've bought about 40 different aliens from eBay. So they're coming in the next week or two. As well as my 11-kilogram bulk I just bought as well. Which I'll be doing some sorting streams and a little bulk review.
And hello, Mr. Dumb.
Hello, Mr. Dumb. How are you, man? Yeah, it was in my live stream yesterday.
Sweet. Yeah, so that's what you've got going with Alien Conquest. And eventually, when I have the energy in me, hopefully in less than an hour, I'm going to start building the Arctic Train set.
Yeah, that would be cool.
Because you were starting to either get ideas or start building some of your own train mocks.
Yeah, which eventually I'm going to build a space train. Which again is going to be similar colors to the little outpost I built, which is going to be more of a It's going to be more of a storage and a storage train. Like for resources, crystals. But that could just be one of the wagons, because I could make a little passenger wagon so that all the minifigures and stuff could sit inside.
Yeah, that kind of sounds like with the Lego space monorails in the 20th century when they had entire when they had the rear the rear vehicle for the monorail could transport the shipping container that stored their tools.
I will be building a mock version of. Let me just show you on my computer, because I'm going to share screen once I find it. I'll be building a mock version of. Just get it up on the screen. StreamYard. Where's the share screen?
After you do that share screen, I'm going to share what I'm talking about with the
No
Unitron and the one monorail.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm going to be building this one right here as a mock, but without the spaceship on the back compartment.
So what that is a mobile HQ set from Alien Conquest.
Yeah. Which mine's going to be more of a like a SWAT vehicle for obviously the astronauts. So I'm kind of going to be like a carrier, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's going to have lasers and guns coming off it.
So does that mean? Well, so is it that the aliens are running the base, or that people who are trying to stop the aliens are running the base?
It's going to be more of a the astronauts fighting the aliens.
Because you got it set up where the aliens have their own suburb of your city, and so other humans gonna use use an armored vehicle to try and stop the aliens in their tracks or something.
Yeah, I see what you mean. I haven't thought much about it.
Yeah, because
I'm just kind of working on a couple of buildings.
Yeah, because when I do mock building, I try to think about the lore of what I'm building, so I know what kind of details to include in them.
Yeah, yeah.
Kind of like when you see castle builders who come up with the lore for the factions that they're using. There are some specific details that they do or don't include, but based upon the characteristics of their army.
Yeah. Okay, I'm going to stop sharing the screen now, so Mayo can show what he needs to show.
Well, actually, we're gonna wait to do that, because I need to compartmentalize what I want to say about that first.
Okay, no worries. I'm just going to start building, I think.
Yeah. So little Lego has a lot of Lego that needs sorting.
Yeah.
A lot of
You see,
people still need to
after
flip.
after I've built this, I'll plan on what it's going to be controlling, if you get what I mean.
And X Knight is on his big conquest for sorting.
Yeah. Only because he's selling his collection on BrickLink.
I still don't know if he's trying to sell his whole collection or just stuff that isn't sets.
No, he is selling everything because he wants money to buy new sets. So he's basically going to make money, lose money, make money, lose money, make money, lose money by selling sets and buying new sets.
So is he just not happy with the inventory in his collection? I haven't spoken him about any of that.
No, he's just I mean, obviously nobody can afford to buy Lego all the time. So like a new set every day or every week. So that's why he's selling his collection because on BrickLink, so he can get money for it to buy new sets, to then sell those sets, get more money to buy newer sets. He's going to become more of a, because he doesn't like mock building, so he's going to be set building instead.
Because I just don't understand the psychology. Why wouldn't you just buy stuff that you liked from the start? Why would you buy stuff that you don't like and then end up selling it? I just don't understand that. Why wouldn't
Yeah,
you just
yeah.
buy the stuff that you like from the beginning?
I do get the logic for what you're trying to say. Yeah.
And not have to go through that whole process, because any amount of
Yeah.
money that could be profited by trying to buy low, sell high, that takes a lot of time to do. Hey, Dina.
Yeah, 100%, man. Which obviously I'm buying. I have a reason for why I buy bulk, because I'm using it for mocks. You know what I mean?
Like that mock that you're building right now.
Yeah, etc. And like the outpost and stuff like that, or my starfighters, um, other city builds and stuff like that. You know what I mean?
Yeah, because I specialize in the city builds.
Yeah. I was thinking maybe I should build, like, after this city is finished or the landscape of a general space city, maybe I should move on to a modern city.
Well, isn't a space city already a futuristic city?
Yeah, but you get what I mean, though. Like, realistic with humans and not aliens. You know what I mean?
Yeah, which is why I suggested that the alien stuff that you're building should be should be a futuristic suburb in a contemporary city.
Yeah, because maybe I could build this city, and then as well as when I build the realistic city, I can have the aliens invading the city.
Yeah, so what I'm picturing is half of your real estate is stuff to do with with the outsiders, and the other half are the people who were already there.
Yeah, yeah, because it could be two different planets. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like
No,
on a
what I'm saying
on
is they both
thick,
occupy the same space. They just don't like to go near each other. Because otherwise, it's confusing if there's no wall separating them.
Yeah. So it's going to be two different cities, but they're going to be two different planets. So obviously, one's going to be Earth, and then the other one's going to be the alien Conquest base/city.
So it's going to be two separate planets. So does that mean they're going to be on two separate tables?
Yes. Yeah, it does. Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, yeah, because that makes sense. Put them
Which
on.
then the aliens are going to
put them
be
on
also
two-
in the main city, where they're going to be invading the city.
Yeah, and so you could have it where the aliens who are on one kind of Futurama type planet, then flying in their spaceships to Earth and try to use some of their resources to take control over the humans or something, which
Yeah.
is like what the aliens did in the Alien Conquest sets. Then Earth needed to
Yeah.
defend itself.
And kill Donald Trump.
Hey, Alexandria.
That's going to be the main goal for the aliens, to try and kill Donald Trump.
I don't like to get political like that on my content.
That was a joke, just to clarify. Maybe that was taking that seriously.
Yeah, but I like to keep that stuff off of my channel personally.
Yeah, I get it. It's a Lego channel, not a political channel. I get it.
Yeah. Also, I'm just seeing there's some purple tiles. No, sorry, not purple tiles. Some pink tiles on your table.
Yeah.
And
Because
there's
again, it's
also
going to be a very similar design to this, with the similar colors and stuff like that, similar details. You know what I mean?
and there's also that trans bright green cockpit.
Oh yes, this one here. Yeah, and I've got two rocks as well.
Yeah, so perhaps there's some kind of alien crystals in them.
Yeah, which there will be. Yeah. Which I'm going to find a way to open, obviously, to put a plant or something inside. You know, like, let me just grab the plant that I was thinking about. The ones that are in, or even crystals. Yeah, I could stick a couple of crystals in them.
Like what they did in the power miners.
Yeah, exactly like power miners. Yeah.
Because you grew up collecting power miners. I didn't.
Yeah.
I just know the law of power miners is that they went underground to get crystals for energy.
Yeah. Which technically I could put in my alien city and build a mine with the power miners. Also then battling with the rock monsters that they found in the cave.
Yeah, and to incorporate some of the Star Wars lore, perhaps the crystals inside of those rock boulders are the hypercrystals.
Yeah.
Because I think the hypercrystals power power some of the ships that the Imperial Empire uses.
Which I could make some hyper-powered weapons. So they're digging for crystals to make weapons.
Yeah, kind of like how some people mine for uranium to use for nuclear weapons.
Yeah.
Just apply that for our extraterrestrial setting, of which the aliens from Alien Conquest are. Because I could because if you get inspiration from pictures from Futurama, for for the bases that you're building, I think of Futurama planets like Omicron Persei 8.
I'll have a look at that right now. Actually, Futurama is
'Cause
in the animated series.
Yeah, because I'm not sure if you've ever seen Futurama, but there are some metropolitan type alien planets.
Yeah, like the towers, etc.
Or I think of the stuff where some of the alien species in Futurama have have developed cities for themselves, and I think of Omicron Persei 8.
Yeah, stuff like Planet Express building.
Well, that's more so on Earth, which is why I think of alien architecture, like on Omicron Persei 8.
Yeah, which I'm saying I could incorporate that into my space city.
Yeah, and compared to the more contemporary stuff on Earth, because it could be a tale of the evolution of the humans versus the aliens.
Yeah, I'm just trying to think. Maybe I should do it afterwards. So create a name for the city, or even the planet.
Yeah, I'm not sure if Lego ever name dropped any lore like that in Alien Conquest.
Yeah, no. But obviously it's a mock, so I can do whatever I want with it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, because I know that some of the castle builders have based their villages on the names of stuff from medieval lore, and
Yeah.
especially medieval lore like from the Robin Hood movies and the Monty
Mm.
Python movies.
Yeah, but I want to be creating my own stuff. You know what I mean?
Yeah, which is why a lot of castle builders take inspiration from that, and a lot of space builders take inspiration from sci-fi.
Yeah. Just digging through all my plates, one by plates.
And I'm drinking water.
Yeah, trying to level everything off so I can plate it off at the top and then build my space station. I say space station, but it's more of a signal space station.
Yeah, so I'm just trying to formulate what I want to say. I just don't know as much about well, since I don't know as much about the lore of the stuff that came out after Mars mission, I'm having trouble formulating my thoughts with something like Alien Conquest, honestly.
Yeah, yeah. Again, I'm just being very creative by building my own structures, not inspired from anything in particular, but just building, which will form into a planet or a city or whatever you want to call it. And then I'll make the story of it afterwards to explain it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and that's kind of why I go in the reverse order when I build my mocks. I like to think of what the story of the mock's going to be, so I know what I want to build for it. Hello, never too old for Lego.
Yeah, because every detail has a story behind it. Yeah, what's up, Never Too Old for Lego? Yeah, what were we talking about? Oh, yes. every detail has a story behind it.
Yeah, and I don't like to build something that doesn't have a story behind it unless it's just a generic thing to occupy a space.
Yeah. I'm just basically I am kind of thinking about it, but like obviously this is the second building, so I've still got time to think about it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, because you're only just starting out, so you're still trying to guide yourself in the style of the way that you want to build it.
Yeah, yeah. Because I'm still trying to also learn the building techniques to the full capacity. You know what I mean?
Yeah, because you want to pick apart the style that you do and don't want to build.
Yeah, yeah. I want to play around with different techniques, like I did with the roof of this, for how it's an angled roof. So I'm kind of playing around with different techniques to structure some buildings. As well as obviously working on base walls, different designs. Because eventually I'm going to build a research lab. For obviously I've got the pieces. So then I know what style I'm going to be building the laboratory in / research lab. You know what I mean? Because it's what I was struggling with was the techniques and color theme I'd be using.
Yes, absolutely. For everyone, make sure to hit the like button on whoever's simulcast that you're watching right now. Yeah, and so also while you're in the middle of doing all of that, what was that stuff that you were building with train marks?
Oh yes. See, I've always had the plan to make the city, right? And I've been seeing a lot of YouTubers with trains in their cities. Okay. Um. So it's always been the plan to actually build a space train. Even before I had the minifigures or even had the thought of building a space city, I've just always wanted to build a space train.
And because you don't own any of the track pieces, you're just gonna make a static train to make it look good instead of functional.
Well, I'm going to be ordering a lot more track. I'm going to be ordering some tracks.
Which means that you're gonna have to order the wheels.
Yeah, yeah. Um, which obviously I don't like focusing on too much stuff at one time, so I'd rather focus on this first and then plan for where the train is going to be. Instead of focusing on where the train's going to be first and build around it, I'd rather do the buildings first and then plan where the train's going to be.
Yeah,
Because
well,
the
whenever,
train might be going down into the mine.
yeah, well, wherever you want the train to go, the tracks are a width of 8 studs.
Yeah. Do they connect to plates? I'm assuming they do, right?
Yeah, the underside does connect to plates, However, if you
Yeah.
use the curved tracks, then that creates some trouble connecting.
I'll figure it out,
Hey Subway
as I
dude.
always do. Oh yeah, hey Subway. Hope you're doing well, man. Yeah, so in my head, I'm trying to picture for what I want it to look like. Because I'm also trying to work out a color theme.
Yeah, because the color scheme of Alien Conquest has a bunch of different colors in it.
Yeah, obviously there's pink, a purple, a green, the bright green, this green.
That's lime green.
Yeah, transparent colors, crystals, a little bit of white, but a shitload of gray.
And all those crazy colors is why I like the vintage space, because they didn't ever use more than 3 colors, which made
Yeah,
ordering pieces to build mocks for it more easier.
because they used more gray and blue, didn't they?
Well, they used grey for a lot of stuff, but they branched away from using grey over time.
Which I'm going to be using these as well for the antenna. You know what I mean? I'm going to put that in there and then have that as the antenna. So it's rotatable, so I can tilt it at different angles, which the sensors are going to be used to transmit if there's any intruders.
Yeah, that just starts reminding me of one of the scenes from a SpongeBob episode where there was a thing that started saying "intruder alert."
I used to love watching SpongeBob as a kid.
I used to watch it every day after coming home from school.
Yeah.
It used to start at 4:08 p.m.
That's quite precise.
Yeah, they had some really weird times.
Yeah. Like, I'm going to be including a lot of grill pieces into these mocks. Because as they do in a lot of space buildings, they need a lot of ventilation and stuff like that.
A lot of greebling.
Yeah, basically. A lot of
And you've
greebling.
been trying to get better and better at your greebling.
Yeah, obviously, because now I'm incorporating a floor design with the rocks, which I would have never thought of before. But it was that obvious, I thought of it. Why not incorporate a floor design? You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Instead of it just being plates and bridges and stuff like that.
Yeah, because there's a way to combine tiles with the jumpers, with the ingots, with the what is it? With the grills to make things more detailed.
Yeah, because I was thinking about also building a couple of bridges going over, well, a bridge going over a ravine, which is going to be for where the tunnels for the cave is going to be, for where the power miners are going to be mining for crystals while battling the rock monsters.
So the rock monsters are going to be an alien, and are going to be an alien species.
Um, no, they're just going to be more of a terrain kind of animal or rock monster. It's going to be more of a terrain monster.
Yeah, but what you're saying is that they're going to be on the same planet as where the aliens are.
Yeah, yeah. Which
So
would
that
class them as an alien species. Yeah.
Yeah, so they'll also be extraterrestrial
Yeah, yeah.
because in the Power Miners lore, the rock monsters are on Earth.
Yeah. But I'm kind of making my own laws with my own creations and minifigures.
Yeah, which is why we can put some of the different characters on different planets.
Yeah. Like the Blacktron mutant, etc. You know what I mean? Because he's infected and he has 2 arms, which means he isn't human. But he used to be. So maybe he could be turning into an alien of some sort.
Or perhaps that the Blacktron had some kind of agreement with the alien species to use some of the minerals that they were mining, and some of them got contaminated by the minerals that they were mining.
Yeah, but I was also going to put him in which is why I've got the cockpit here, because he's going to be a part of the laboratory for where the aliens are trying to find a way to turn humans into aliens.
Yeah, and so then after the aliens reach an agreement with the Blacktron forces, when any of them become incapacitated, the aliens start experimenting on them, kind of like how in the Mars mission sets, when an alien died, the aliens have energy inside of them. So the Mars mission astronauts from Earth started using the dead aliens as an energy source for their vehicles, which is pretty morbid.
Yeah, perhaps.
I like to imagine that the aliens in those vehicles are dead, because otherwise, why would you?
Use them.
It would be like torture using an alive alien and just sucking its energy out of it. They
Yeah,
were
yeah.
they were really creative when they came up with that, weren't they?
Yeah, 100%. Yeah. Because what are they trying to clarify? The torture or the capture?
I think it's more so the capture, because they were going after crystals on Mars, and the
Yeah,
alien, no, sorry, and the Martians weren't even in their way. They were just trying to defend their territory,
yeah.
and some of them ended up getting cannibalized for Pete's sake.
Yeah, yeah.
Or you could think about how perhaps the uh, perhaps the astronauts from Earth who were mining the crystals on Mars forced a sleight of hand over the Martians to give up some of their own.
Yeah, perhaps. Yeah, yeah. Um,
And so maybe maybe your alien conquest aliens forced some of the Blacktron to give up some of their own for experiments.
yeah, yeah, perhaps. Obviously, it's why I'm using different aliens for different species of aliens that are all on that planet. Which is obviously why the astronauts are basically trying to save Earth.
There's a whole bunch of storylines we could use with these figs.
Yeah, loads. Yeah, which perhaps you could help me with along the way. Because as I said from the start, you could be the ideas guy, and I could be the builder.
Well, the only reason I had any of those ideas to begin with is because you're using Electron, and they have their own lore already to base it off.
Yeah. Which I'm going to be writing a story on this city. Well, planets. Sorry.
Hey, Grumpy Jane.
Oh, Grumpy J. I don't think I've ever seen him in one of my live streams before. I think he's watching from your end.
Yeah.
Good grumpishal day, everyone. How the grump is everyone today? Good, thanks. How are you doing, man? I'm trying to think on what color, because I want all this to be tiled across here, right? So the studs don't, so you can't see the studs. I want it tiled. So in the building, it's going to be here for where the massive gap is. You know what I mean? So the station, that's just going to be like a border around the station. And there's some steps leading up to it. I don't know what color to use to tile it off.
Well, I would. Well, if you've got more of that magenta, I would use it for a proper color.
Yeah, to tile off the tops. Which was what I was thinking, but maybe grey for the tiles. But then I could incorporate the pinks and the magentas and the purples into the actual space station itself. Because this is just the border around the space station, and the station's going to be up here, like where where all the grey plates are.
Yeah, Grumpy, we're specifically trying to choose colors from the Alien Conquest theme.
Sand green. Huh.
Sand green wasn't a part of Alien Conquest, but lime green was.
Yeah, it's just a shame they don't have any lime green masonry bricks.
That's because that's too much of a niche color for that.
Yeah, but it would be great in case you wanted to build something like this. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but what I'm saying is that Lego wouldn't invest in creating a new color for a piece if they didn't think they could get good use out of it. Hey, silent mode.
Yeah, I understand. Yeah. Some grey bricks now. 1x1 bricks. What color should I use? Dark grey.
Yeah. So before I open my train, I'm gonna share what I wanted to talk about with the monorails.
Okay.
Well, that would be good if it could happen silent mode, but I don't think there are enough uses to justify making that piece in that color yet. because it took them a while to find justification to make the masonry bricks in the lavender color. And
They made it in lavender.
yes, they made lavender versions of the masonry bricks.
Yeah. Definitely going to be including a couple of those. So I'm going to be using a couple of snot bricks with a lid to create some kind of greebling on the sides of a brick design, or a guard design.
Yeah.
Space train.
It's the future one monorail. Oopsie. Let me get this back up again. So you see in the monorail how they have the cabs to operate the monorail, but behind the cabs they have storage for their tools.
Yes. Perhaps I could build something very similar to this, to control the tracks. You know what I mean? To control all the software for the train.
Yeah, for like a sci-fi version of an old signal box.
Yeah.
Because in the old days before computers, every individual yard had to have its own signal box. Now a railway has a giant control center the size of a computer lab that controls all of the switches on the whole part of the division of a railway.
Yeah, but I don't think I clarified for how many plates I was going to be using for the city. I'm going to be using at least 12 48 by 48 base plates, if not more, which will be using almost 100,000 bricks. Just into one city.
Yeah, so that was the future one monorail, and then this is the Unitron monorail.
Yeah. Ooh, I like how they've used the purple. Or is that more of a shadow?
That's just for the box art, because they got the purple. They got the purple stars in the box of it. In the box art.
I love the radar. The transparent radar dishes on the train.
Yeah, and there's a wheel near the tracks when the monorail passes by. It spins around.
And the buggy as well on the floor. I like that.
Yeah, that uses the big wheels.
Which I own. I own 8 of them.
So you could very much make a space all-terrain vehicle with it.
Yeah.
And also just see some of the architecture that they use for their stations.
Okay, leave that on the screen a second. I'm going to screenshot that.
Yeah.
To take a little bit of inspiration. I've got a Chromebook, so it's pretty easy to take a screenshot. There we go. Yeah, I took a screenshot of that. I'm going to use some of the ideas. Like, they've got a very similar control panel tower, like I was talking about. You know, like on the side.
Yeah, because it seems like the building on the left is supposed to be is supposed to be the space version of a signal box to control the switches for the monorail, and also to control what happens at that station at the bottom.
Oh, Alexandria has to go. Thanks for being here, Alexandria. I hope you have a great day. Yeah, I really like that train.
Yeah. So if you ever want to get inspiration for what you want to do with your space trains, perfect is the space monorail set.
Yeah, perhaps, yeah. Which at this point I should have just, all those 1x1s and tiles I had all sorted into those little drawers. I really wish I kept them all sorted, but because I bought more bulk, I put it back into the general boxes, what they were in before. So it's a lot easier to sort. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because I'm probably going to start sorting it for when this box is full of 1x1s, like right to the brim. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So you know what you got down packed for your ideas for the space city, but
Yeah.
but what about the trains that you were trying to build for Earth? Because you took inspiration from that thing in the idea book.
Oh, yes. The train right here that I haven't been working on because I've been too busy planning out my alien conquest. Yeah, because it was basically to generally gather the building techniques to use for trains for the space train. You know what I mean? I'm trying to teach myself muscle memory with certain techniques.
Yeah, because I wanna see that in the middle of your screen.
What, the train?
Yeah,
What, this one right here?
yeah. So put it on the table so we can stare at it for a while and talk about it.
Okay, just give me a second. I'll move a couple of things around. I'm trying to
Because that's
build as well. So.
because that's based on the London Underground trains.
Yeah. How's that? No,
Yeah,
it's too far. Maybe perhaps here?
because
How's that?
I think the viewers would be interested in the backstory about that.
Okay. I'll move a couple of containers around so I can actually so you guys can see it on full screen. I say full screen, but like more to the camera. Tilt it more this way.
Yeah. So
Too far. Needs
what's
to be
the
more.
backstory? What's the backstory behind building that?
So the backstory for building this train, the original plan was to incorporate a train into my main city, the human city, as a transport vehicle. But thinking of it, I'm gonna incorporate a space train into my alien conquest planet / power miners / black troll mutant planet. Or I could incorporate trains in both planets.
I'm gonna go refill my water bottle and then I'm gonna open the Arctic train. So talk for about 2 minutes or so
Okay.
about about the mocks that you're building.
Yeah. Yeah. So basically, I'm going to build all the buildings first before I build the trains, the train and the mine, because I need to plan out the general shape of things as well as the structures of the buildings and certain types of buildings that I'll be making. Which obviously I'm going to be taking a lot of inspiration from all those things I just mentioned: Blacktron, Power Miners, Alien Conquest, a little bit of Futurama, like Mayo mentioned, classic space. I'll be including an inspiration of all those subjects into one. To try and put everything together. Yeah, so I'll be building space train, going into the mines. So it's going to be transporting crystals from one section of the planet to the other. So I'm going to be spending a good couple of months or even a year on this city and the planet, as well as buying weekly bulk until I end up with a shitload of pieces, certain detailing pieces, to include the greeblings into the buildings. If you're all enjoying this live stream to this point, please hit the like and subscribe button on both of our channels, because it's highly appreciated. Ah, yes. Mayo's got his train. Nice. I like the orange. How they've used orange on the train, the Arctic train, as they do in a lot of the sets. I like the layout of the train. It's very detailed. Yeah, it helps the algorithm, etc. Yeah, absolutely right, Silent. Have you been up to much anyway, Silent, since yesterday? Oh, you had trouble getting out of bed. Yeah, I did as well. I didn't wake up until about 4 p.m. Because I've been struggling with my sleep lately. So, because obviously because I've been doing light streams quite late, so I'm staying up until about 4 in the morning, and it's kind of fucked my sleeping pattern, which is making me feel like absolute shit every time I wake up. Which hopefully starts getting a little bit better soon. I'm hoping. Because it might even be I start streaming at 10 p.m. UK time. Which obviously the times of this stream are perfect, because it's 8 p.m. until 10 p.m. If not a little bit longer. Looks like we've got Mayo back, which he's on mute. Yeah, mate, I was just saying I really like the Arctic train you've got there. Like how they've, I know they do, but they incorporate a lot of orange into their sets, which I'm very interested in.
Yeah, there's a lot of orange in this.
Yeah. Okay, now I've got all that tiled off. Time to detail on the sides. Just trying to think on what pieces I could use. Maybe that's where I could start using the magenta on the sides, perhaps. If I have enough. Which is a lot of 1x6s, so. Which I would prefer if I had a shitload more 1x4. Which I'm going to wait until I've sorted all my bulk to see on what I get next week. Because 11 kilogram of Lego is definitely 1,000% going to stack up my collection. I mean, I would like to think so anyway. Hey, Mayo, could you just talk to the viewers for a second while I go and get a drink?
Yeah.
All right, thank you.
If any of the viewers want to ask anything, ask away right now.
Yeah, I got my drink. Nice. Yeah, so how many pieces does this set include? Do you know?
It includes 1,517.
That's a lot of pieces.
And
I'm
there's
going to
only
tile
this
the
tiny
bottom.
amount of stickers.
Ooh. Yes, I was thinking for the floor, I should do the B. That's the Blacktron. The
That would
Blacktron B.
be with lime
What?
green.
What's up? Can you repeat what you said, please?
That would be fun with lime green.
Yeah. But I'd be using plate instead of using tiles. Because I don't own any whatsoever lime green tiles. I only own these kind of 1x4s with the stud either side with the 1x2 in the middle, which is tiled. Actually, I do own a couple of 1x4 tiles. I didn't realize that. Yeah, I own a couple and a couple of 2x2s. But not enough for the B, so I'm going to be using plates, which I'm going to work out on a base plate, the main shaping of the letter. Let's grab some light grey tiles to tile this off, to plate this off. Okay, how many studs is that? 3, 4, 5, 6, 12. Wait, so it's 12 there. 3, 4. So 18 by 12. Okay. That's good to know. I can just grab a couple of these.
Yeah. And this version of Johnny Thunder comes with ice picks.
Ooh. You see, I've got some pickaxes from the Fortnite set I had, which I'll be using in the mine as a scene for where they're digging for crystals.
Yeah, this is the first thing you build in the set.
A cowboy? Or is he a sheriff?
He's an adventurer.
Oh, I was wrong both times then.
Because do you know anything about the Lego Adventurers theme?
No. Not personally.
Well, he's the main character.
Yeah. I mean, I know a little bit about the Indiana Jones Lego, but that's about it.
Which Adventurers is basically just unlicensed Indiana Jones.
Yeah, yeah.
Lego realized how much people like him, so now they're including him in all the adventurous city sets now.
Yeah. Fucking full thing. Why not?
And now that we have 2 episodes of this, I'm gonna have to create a playlist on my channel for BrickTalk.
Yeah, I've already done that on my channel. So it's not a live stream. I'm going to be making a video explaining to the viewers for what BrickTalk is to interest more people into the audience.
Yeah.
Like, maybe you could be included in that video,
Yes.
explaining it as well as myself. Or you could explain it while I do the intro, if you get what I mean.
We can figure something out.
Yeah, because I think that needs to be done to explain for what it is, because then we'll start getting a lot more viewers. And I need to switch those notifications off my other phone because it is pissing me off. And I don't want to disturb the viewers. Right, where is my floor? How many do I need? How am I going to do that? Dark grey at the bottom, I think.
I think
So
that's
like
a
with
new
the other
color
one.
in those pieces.
What's up? What's up?
The 1x3 jumpers in orange.
I'm just trying to see if I own one. I don't think I do. No, just 1x2s in orange. 1x2 jumpers, sorry. Like, I really love jumper plates. Because then it's teaching us that we can build on half a stud. Like in the middle of two studs, you know what I mean?
Yeah. I hardly ever use them unless for tiling where anything's gonna walk.
Yeah. Do you think do you think I'll manage building the bee in the middle of that?
Well, you probably have enough space to get the curvature.
Yeah. Which, of course, I'm just using 1x2 plates. But I've got a lot of 1x2 plates in lime green. Because I ordered them from eBay. Not too long ago, actually. Before I started building this, because I was kind of buying pieces that I thought I needed, like most of. But now actually starting to build, I missed out quite a lot of pieces. Like, I got a 25 1x2 tile bundle. All in lime green. Which I've already used a couple of them in my little outpost thing.
And this piece
See
is
that?
printed.
Like 1x2s. Oh, it's printed. It's not a sticker. Nice.
Yes, I don't know what bag 2 is going to be, but hopefully it's starting to build the locomotive.
Yeah. Just trying to find out what I did with my 1x1s. Oh, there they are. Finish off the B, which I'm gonna move because I was just trying to see if I had the right pieces to structure the lettering, which I do, so it's fine.
And now I've got to put together all these caterpillar treads.
How does that look?
I think the bee needs to be taller.
I mean, look at it, the torso. Maybe, like by one stud at the bottom.
Yeah, I think it needs to be proportionally 1 or 2 studs taller.
Yeah, at the bottom. Yeah. The bottom part should be bigger than the top bit. As it is, when teachers teach you at school how to do how to write, you know, like in year 1 or reception, or in your case, kindergarten. Which we don't obviously have in the UK. We have what we call nursery and reception.
And I need to put these wheels inside to make sure this track lines up.
How's that?
That looks slightly better. I would have the top of it be one stud ball.
Oh, so it's equal. Yeah, so it's going to be, a 2x2 space on the top and then a 2x4 space at the bottom with the hole. Because they need to obviously be the same size as they are on the torso.
Yeah. And this is what the caterpillar treads are supposed to look like.
I love those.
And I got to build 2 of these.
I don't own too many of them, but I do really, really like them with a passion.
The rest of this bag is just building those caterpillar treads.
Is that better?
Yes.
Okay.
That way it's more proportional and stands out more.
Okay, I just got to move it. I'm going to take a picture on my other phone, get the image up, so now I can copy it. I've got my other phone here. It's fine. I just want to copy the main shape and move it into the middle. You get what I mean?
Yeah.
How many studs is it? It's 8 studs. Okay, so I know where it's going to be. Okay, that's fine. That's why I took a picture, so I know what pieces go where when I move it. You know what I mean? Yeah, so we do a video on explaining for what BrickTalk is, and if people are interested, we'll end up with a shitload more viewers to have conversations with, and then have a reason to actually make our content. You know what I mean?
Yeah, which is why when I do all my pop-up streams, I stream it at a convenient time for my audience. But when I do these streams, I stream it at a convenient time for my co-hosts.
Yeah. Let's move it up by 1. So it's there. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4. I really enjoy actually streaming with yourself, you know, because of how much knowledge
Oh yeah,
you
that's what
have.
I didn't build. There's a handle that goes back here.
And because we have a lot in common as well.
Yeah, which is why we have good chemistry.
Yeah, which is always great in a friendship.
Okay, now we've got that handle. There we go. Okay, that goes on there.
Yes, there we go. And then I'm going to border it in black. Maybe I should move it up 1. What do you think?
I think it's fine.
Or even, yeah, or even move it 1 to the left.
And so because this is rubber wheels inside of hard plastic caterpillar treads, there's better traction.
Better grip. Yeah.
Because Lego has had terrible issues in the past with getting traction on their caterpillar treads.
Ooh, I really like the vehicle.
And that's the end of bag 1.
Yes, for obvious reasons, I'm going to order a couple of these minifigures. The Black Troll Mutant.
Can you still find them in stores near you?
No, I ordered them online. Off eBay or Bricklink. Preferably eBay, because they come within a couple of days. Do you think I should push myself to the limits and actually try and do the diamond shape? The pentagon shape around the B?
If you want to get into maximum detail, I say go for it. Okay. So the second bag isn't for the locomotive, it's for the little research station.
Does that look better as a B?
Yeah, when you put black inside of it, it's a better emphasis.
Yeah, because it stands out more, right? Okay, that's better. Nice. And now what I'm going to have to do is look at a couple of the old Blacktron a couple of the old Blacktron sets to try and incorporate some of the detailing of that into this build, which hopefully you know quite a bit about, because then you can help me around that.
Yeah, because that's my wheelhouse.
Yeah. Huh. Because you like Blacktron, don't you? So I'm assuming
because
you'd know quite a bit about it.
Yeah, because I grew up with it.
Yeah. You still own the old vintage minifigure?
Yeah, because I bought new ones at conventions.
Yeah, that's cool. Because I was thinking about buying the vintage minifigure. Obviously off eBay again, but like, I don't know what the estimate price would be. You know what I mean? Which I'm hoping it's not too expensive.
Which is why I just buy a set and hope that it comes with a couple.
Yeah, because then you've got the parts as well as the minifigure.
Well, no, because I'm more interested in the build than I am the minifig.
Fair enough. Yeah. Yeah. I really like how they've actually made 1x5 tiles.
Yeah, when they first came out in the 90th anniversary castle, that changed everything.
Yeah.
It only just dawned on me that the insides of these pieces
Oh yeah.
are technically an anti stud.
Really? So they're using an illegal building technique.
No, they've connected it with the stud on a jumper.
Oh, interesting. Okay, I'm going to have to remove that to take that tile up. Plate up, sorry. No, it's going to say 1 by 5.
Because previously they haven't made pieces to be like that.
Yeah.
Normally the insides have been more thin, and they've just connected stuff with the bar.
Yeah. What's going to be your next mock that you're going to be working on?
It's probably going to be a minifigure habitat.
What, like a series 2?
I'm on season 2 now. I started with my sig fig. I want to build a dino one next.
A dinosaur?
Yeah.
Oh, that'd be cool.
A scene from Jurassic Park, because there are a bunch of my friends are suckers for the dinos.
Yeah. I've never seen Jurassic Park.
Me neither.
Huh. I'm not too
want
interested in dinos.
Me neither. I just want to appease to their fandom.
Yeah, yeah. Like, I've got an autistic cousin that everything has to be about dinosaurs. If it's not including dinosaurs, he doesn't want it.
Yeah, it's kind of like people who are obsessed with certain characters from franchises.
Yeah. Which I'm trying to explore to see if I have Asperger's, because one of the staff members that are in my residential home, they study psychology and stuff, and ever since he's met me, he thinks I have Asperger's.
Yeah, you should get a diagnosis and see if you do.
Yeah. Just that stuff takes time. But Rome wasn't built in a day, as the saying goes. You get what context I mean by that.
Yeah, because it'll take you a while to build your space city.
Yeah, yeah. Which, technically, I have to also do car washing to earn money to buy more Lego, because then I can put towards more shit in my city.
And I don't like to talk about where my money comes from.
Yeah, fair enough. I get it. It's private life. I get it.
Hello, Nate. Good to see you here, buddy. I'm on
Big Nate Brick.
I'm on bag 2 of the Arctic train, and when's you uploaded another part of your fantasy forest the other day. So when can we expect the next fantasy forest update? So I'm guessing that you don't own any of the Lego train sets.
Who, myself?
Yeah.
Not yet. I will do though. I will be buying that train that you've got right there, the Arctic train,
So what do you want to do
because
with
it's
the Arctic?
basically because it's pretty cheap, isn't it?
Well, the only reason I bought it is because it went on immediate sale for early introductory offers.
Yeah, obviously because of the price, you get quite the amount of tracks.
I've seen more track in other older trains.
Are they cheaper?
No, they were the same price.
Yeah. Like, there's
But that's
nothing about the train individually that interests me. It's more the fact that I need to learn the building techniques because it's something I've never built before. You know what I mean?
Yeah, the reason why this has less track is because they put a big emphasis on the side builds.
Yeah.
We have to do this at the back.
This sure is a faff trying to build this. You know the diamond shape around the B? The pentagon, sorry.
Yeah, which is why I wouldn't attempt to do that unless I was building at a bigger scale.
Yeah. But it's good to challenge myself sometimes with builds like this. You know what I mean? Because the Blacktron Mutant is going to be the minifigure that is on the. This is going to be his building.
Wait, which building?
The building I'm making right now.
Yeah, because you already built the little thing for the alien, and now you're going to build the thing for the Blacktron.
Yeah, the little space station. Do you think it's a shit idea, or do you think it's good?
Well, it'll be as good as you make it out to be.
Yeah.
I don't
Course,
know.
yeah.
I don't know how to judge people's work until it's actually finished.
Yeah. Okay, I need a 1x1 in black for the other side, unless I find a separate one right there. So just take this plane off and swap it for a 1x5. Don't take that off a second.
All I can see is what they're trying to go for while they're building it.
What's up?
All I can see is what they're trying to go for while they're building it.
What are you talking about?
Like what their vision is.
Oh, the viewers.
No, what their vision is while they're building it.
Yeah.
Because if I could read your mind, I would know exactly what you're trying to do.
I get what you mean, but like it's difficult to build on camera because I can't reach. Because I've been advised to keep my back as straight as possible because of my bad posture.
Which is why I only build sets on camera.
Yeah, I've been advised to keep my back straight as possible. And obviously, I want to get better, so I'm going to follow those rules. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and now I'm building a little coffee machine inside of this inside of this
Yeah.
research station because
You wouldn't be able to make me a cappuccino, would you?
there's actually this might be more of a supply station based on the interior detail. Might be more of a supply station, more of a base camp type thing.
How much is a cappuccino?
I have no idea. I don't buy coffee.
No, I meant like because I asked you to make me a cappuccino. I'm asking how much it is.
I don't know how I'd price it.
Oh. Retail price is probably about £2.50 for a cappuccino.
That sounds about right.
Yeah. It's not cheap to buy, every single day. But I know someone that buys coffee every single day of their life. And I'm like, you're gonna run out of money soon. You know what I mean? Because they literally are.
I wouldn't want to be that person.
Yeah. You were right about something. As you always are. I built this at the wrong fucking total scale.
Is it too big or is it too small?
Too small. Like the B won't fit with the white border and the black. So I might just make the full entire floor black. Or I could make the background white, like the back of the B, like this bit here. Can make all this white. Around it.
Yeah, because if you make it white, that'll look more like the color scheme.
Yeah. Because I'm basically looking at my minifigure as well as planning out what I'm building.
There's a bunch of spare tools from this, so I'm going to put them inside of the base camp. And there's a map of where they're trying to go. Hello, a chip of the old block toy. We're just about to end this stream. We started 2 hours ago. That's what the map looks like.
Oh, that's fancy.
So just a reminder, this stream starts every Saturday at 3 p.m. Eastern, which is 8 p.m. in the UK, which is 2 p.m. Central, which is 1 p.m. Mountain, which is 12 p.m. Pacific, which is 5 a.m. Australian Eastern Standard Time.
So are we doing Saturdays or we're going to stop doing Saturdays? Fridays, sorry.
We're doing both on Saturday and Friday. I was just sick yesterday.
All right. It was just you said every Saturday, but yeah, I get what you mean.
Yeah, and so there's 2 of these spare caterpillar treads. I don't know what I'm gonna do with them because that was for bag 1. And the bottom half of this research of this supply station is for bag 2. Haven't needed to use the brick separator yet. That's what the neoclassic version of That's what the neoclassic version of Johnny Thunder looks like with his ice picks. And this is one of the researchers with her parka.
Yeah, I'm just going to finish the background on this B with the white, and then I'm going to show it to the chat, and then be time to end the live stream.
Cool, and I'm gonna stop off with this.
Yeah.
So we got through 2 bags of the Arctic train.
And then, are you going to continue building it in a different stream or next week?
Yes.
In a different stream, yeah?
Yes.
Yeah, and then we can plan on what we're going to do next week. And talk about what we...
Because whatever mocks you're building this time next week,
yeah,
we can title episode 3 and 4 around that.
Like, I'm hoping to get most of this finished by then. Like, a lot of the buildings. Like maybe three or 4 more buildings done by next week.
Yeah, it's 2 minutes to go. So why don't you start the send off?
Yeah. I just got one more piece, which is right here. Then I'll show it off. So everyone, this is what I've built so far of the space station, the Blacktron space station, to go in my alien Conquest city. So this is the side. I haven't included much detail just yet because it's obviously a work in progress. This is the back. Again, not much detail because it's not finished. See, it's that side. It's the front. That's the B. And I've tiled the sides. Ready to actually build in these bits here, which is probably going to be 4 posts, 1 by 1 by 5. These pieces here in the corners, but in a different color. I'll be using grays, and then obviously the computers for the interior and the roof, which is going to have antennas and scanners on the top. So this is the end of the live stream. I hope you all have enjoyed for everything that we have discussed and that we are doing. Mayo, do you have anything you'd like to say?
Yeah. So thank you for watching this stream. It is appreciated. Don't forget to like, comment, share, subscribe to both mayohosko and Owen the LEGO Master, and hit the notification bell so you'll never miss out on another episode of BrickTalk.
And to start from now, I'll see you all in the next one.
See you all in episode 3. Goodbye, guys.
Bye.